Let me ask you. I mean, we've touched upon a couple things that would do good. You know, limiting lobbyism, paying politicians more and holding them accountable if they hold their hand out. Also, maybe curbing where they get their funds from. You know, this whole concept. If you know, I mean, there's a website where you can follow what insider trading senators make on inside information they get on stock. That should be illegal. But all of this would also maybe talking about the electoral college and pushing through some of the more difficult issues. I mentioned this before, and I think one of the qualities that the more ultra right would, I think they're more willing to undersign drastic change, not to our advantage, to our disadvantage. But I lack that courage on the left. Yep. And I don't like the whole term right and left. Okay, I'm just talking about two opposing forces. I kind of lack that, and the only one on the political spectrum who I think who's an amazing candidate. I think America couldn't have handled him was Bernie Sanders. What do you say? What's your impression on? Because I think every time you point a finger at the other party, you also got to take your self responsibility and ask yourself, what are we contributing to the environment that somebody like that is more votable than we are? I think you can't point a finger without asking yourself your question: what's your ownership in the deal? I lack I think the alternative party, the Democrats, are too interested in let's just get along and let's not rock the boat. Let's not piss anybody off. We don't want to even piss off the Republicans. And by not standing for something, I think they're losing a lot of people who really want change. I don't know. Have you ever seen? Are you familiar with Vice?
The news show?
Yeah, the news thing. I think they've gone bankrupt, but I actually like some of the. There was a great.
I actually wanted to. Yeah,
there's great report on Vice where I think it was an African American. I thought it was an interesting choice that they picked an African American. They sent him to the what's it called, the Steel Belt or whatever it's called of the United States, where they they have the production lines, and it was almost like a Bruce Springsteen song. He was in these dismal towns where everybody's sitting in the bar miserable with trucker caps and beer guts and health issues and stuff like that. And he started having an interview with them, and what I loved about him, he was not trying to trigger them. I mean, I think his potential. His wild hair and his skin color was enough to theoretically trigger them, but it didn't trigger them. And he managed to ask open questions instead of judgmental questions, right? And maybe I can find it and I'll send it to you. And I thought the interview was great because he asked them, this was before Trump won the first time, hopefully the last time, why they were going to vote for him. And they said, because he stands for us. And he says, you really believe that? Yes, because he says he does, right? He stands for Christianity, but he's not really Christian, right? Everything he's done in his life is actually the opposite of Christian, right? He said, yeah, but he at least says it, and he gives us a feeling that he addresses us, he sees us, and that's why we believe in him. And then the interviewer asked the most brilliant freaking question that he possibly could, and this is what he said to him: if Donald Trump doesn't turn out to be the promised one, who would be your alternative to vote for? What do you think their response was?
Bernie Sanders. Mind blowing.
I mean that, but you know what? That tells you so much about what people are thirsting for. And I think
straight shooter.
I think the Democrats really shot themselves in the foot with the younger generation when there was a lot of inside influence to make sure that Hillary Clinton won and not Bernie Sanders. I'll leave it up to you if you want to make any statements on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that America was ready for Bernie Sanders, but I would have wished it would have been Bernie Sanders. Right.
Because that would have been real change.
I think that's the point, is that the inside baseball kind of took over and people said, she's electable, he is not. Mm-hmm. He may represent our feelings more, but we got to win.
Mm.
And that's sort of part of the problem too, is that we got to win. No, in some cases, this is also why I believe we actually need 4 parties, because if you only have 3, there's going to be a dominant one. So if the Democratic Party splits or the Republicans Party splits, the other one's going to be the dominant, and it's going to be chaos. You need 4. You need the ultra liberals, you need the traditional Democrat, you need the traditional Republican, and the ultra right.
Will the system allow it?
I honestly don't know. We'll see what happens after this election. I think that if there is going to be a splintering, it could occur after this election. And again, it's about who. I don't think we have a problem seeing a leader emerge on the ultra right, the MAGA side. I think you see it in their vice presidential candidate. He's very eloquent. He's going to be their leader, I think, moving forward. On the far left, there's some good spokespeople. Good.
Gavin Newsom has great charisma.
Yeah,